So, dear students, good morning to all of you. Good morning to all of you, dear students. Manasvi, Arpita, Yog, Premanshu, Rupam, Srija. Good morning. Arpita, can you hear me? Can you please confirm me with the text? If you can hear me, please confirm me with the text. Good morning, Sahil, Mridula, good morning. Are you able to hear me? Please confirm me with the text so that I can begin. Madhu, good morning. Aswini, good morning. If you are hearing me, please confirm me with the text quickly. Tanali, good morning. Dear students, if you are able to hear me, Sania, good morning. Okay, thank you, Sania. Thank you so much. Let's begin our lesson today. So, today we are going to learn a new lesson, that is the 100 dresses, part 1. Okay, so 100 dresses is a very educative lesson, dear students, because it teaches us many things, many values, enduring values. Okay, so today we are going to study the lesson, the 100 dresses, part 1. Okay, so dear students, before I begin with the 100 dresses, part 1, there are some questions here given in the textbook, which we will discuss very briefly, and then we shall know something about the history of the Polish immigrants in the United States. Okay, Polish means people from Poland. Okay, so we will come to know about the Polish immigrants. When did it take place, immigration take place, and how did they settle to the United States? Okay, so first we'll discuss about, I'll discuss about some questions with you. Say, for example, just a minute. Okay. So let me begin. Okay, thank you, Sania, Orpita, and Madhu. Thank you so much. Please stay connected. I am explaining you. Okay. How do we judge the people around us? By their money, wealth, and possessions? Or is there something of more enduring value to look for in a person? Okay. This is very important, dear students. How do we judge people around us? Normally what happens? We judge people by their status in the society, by their education, by their wealth, by their possessions. Possessions means things that people own or possess. It's called possessions. Okay, so like if I own a car, if I own a flat, if I own a bike, if I own an Apple phone, if I own an iPad, so this is what is possessions. Okay, possessions means something that we own or possess. Okay, so all these instances, examples that I have mentioned, okay, if I own them, then these are in my possessions. Understood? Like an Apple iPhone is in my possession, iPad is in my possession, a car is in my possession. So possession means something that we own or possess. Okay, so the question is, how do we judge people around us? Normally what happens, dear students, we learn people by their money, by their wealth, or by their education, or by how many things they possess. Understood? But the question is, should we only judge people on the basis of their outward appearance, on the basis of their financial strength, or on the basis of what they possess? The answer is no, because Money, wealth, possessions are not with us always. It can part from us. It can part from us. It can take leave of us one day. But what will remain with us one day is something that we are going to discuss now. Okay. Or is there something of more enduring value to look for in a person? Should we judge people only on the basis of their outward appearance or by their money, wealth and possessions, or there should be some enduring value in a person with the help of which we should judge a person? So dear students, this is what is the theme of the story. Okay, the answer is, of course, we should look for in a person, what we should look for in a person is not the money they have, not the wealth they have, or not the possessions that they own, the things that they own. We should only judge a person by something else. What is that? We should always look for in a person some enduring value. Enduring means something that lasts for a long time. That is what is enduring value is all about. Enduring value means the value that lasts forever. Value means what, dear students? You might be knowing. Value means if a person has honesty, if a person has integrity of character, means his character is very strong. If a person is time conscious, punctual, if a person is very much truthful, okay, if a person is charitable by nature, if a person has sympathy or empathy for other people. So these are the enduring values in a person. Understood? So we must look for some enduring values in a person. Not that whether he has wealth or money or possessions, whatever. We should not judge a person, or we should not judge people only on the basis of their money, wealth, status in the society. We should also look for in a person some values, okay, which are always enduring. Money will part from us, wealth will part from us. My cell phone might get damaged one day, my car might get damaged one day, my bike might get damaged one day. These are temporary things. They do not stay with us for a long time. Okay, they have certain period of longevity. Okay, but what will remain with us is our values. Okay, our honesty, our integrity of character, our punctuality, our feeling for others. Okay, our feeling for others, like we are empathetic by nature. So these are the enduring values that remain with a person forever and ever. Therefore, the writer suggests to us in this lesson that no matter what we have, no matter how much rich we are, no matter how much wealth we have, or how many things we are having in our possessions, everything is prone to destruction. What is with us always forever during our days of prosperity as well as during our days of adversity is our value. Okay, is our values, you can say. So we must try and develop values from early childhood onwards, so that we can gel well in the society with other people. We can become role model for others in the society. Okay, we can leave something for others. Okay, so that they remember us. So that is possible only when we have values. If you study the history of the successful people, you will come to know that all of them had some enduring values. Like for example, Rabindranath Tagore, Swami Vivekananda, APJ Abdul Kalam, then Albert Einstein, Sir Isaac Newton, William Shakespeare, John Keats. Okay, these successful people all had some values or the other in their personality for which they are still remembered. They are not only remembered for their works, they are also remembered for the kind of values that they have conveyed to us through their works. Okay, so what lasts is not your wealth, what lasts long is not your property, what lasts long is your quality, and quality will be developed only through your values. The more values you have, the more you can be systematic, the more you can be punctual, the more you can be honest, and only with the pillars of such values you can become famous. Okay, so this is what the writer has communicated or conveyed to us. Okay, so that is why this is a very important question in this lesson. Okay, always remember that we should try to develop certain values in our life, because values always remain with us forever and ever. Okay, other things will come and go, but values will always remain with us even in the days of adversity. Okay, adversity means period of misfortune, you can say. Okay, spell of misfortune is called adversity. Okay, duration of misfortune. Okay, now dear students, okay, so Laxman, good morning. Nidu, good morning. Pramanshu, good morning. Okay, thank you. Now let's continue. This story is a sensitive account of how a poor young girl is judged by her classmates. Wanda Petronsky is a young Polish girl who goes to school with other American children in an American town. These other children see Wanda as different in many ways. Can you guess how they treat her? So we are going now straight into the story, because you will find some children, some students of a particular school in this story are not having values. Understood? Are not having values. They lack values, as a result of which they make fun of a Polish girl called Wanda Petronsky. Understood? They discriminate against her, they make fun of her, they tease her. So why it's happening? Because these school children have not imbibed values in them. Understood? So this story is a sensitive account of a poor young girl who is judged by her classmates. Okay, Wanda Petronsky is a young Polish girl who goes to school with other American children in an American town. Understood? So she is not an American, she is a Polish girl, but she has taken, as she has migrated to United States, therefore she is studying in the schools of United States with other American children. These other children see Wanda as different in many ways. Can you guess how they treat her? Okay, so this is what is called, dear students, racial discrimination, which is found even now in the United States, Australia, and some other. It is not so sporadic as it used to be before, but still it is there. Still it is there. We can see how Indian students are treated in the United States, okay, in Australia and other places. So this is what is called racial discrimination. Okay, so this has come down, of course, but it's still prevalent. Okay, it's not altogether eliminated from the across the world. Okay, it's still there. It's not so sporadic as it used to be before, but it's still there. Okay, so now let's know something about the Polish American community in the United States. Okay, when did the Polish community migrate to America is something that we'll learn now. Okay, dear students, before I proceed, I would like to inform you that if you are having the hard copy of your textbook, then you please underline some of the sentences as and when I go through the text, because I have highlighted some of the important sentences which you too should highlight with a pencil on your book if you are having the hard copy with you. And if you are not having the hard copy, in that case what you do is you can open your hard copy, soft copy on a tab or a mobile phone, and you can also highlight along with me. And if you got a hard copy, then the problem is resolved. Okay, with pencil you can underline some of the important sentences. Okay, okay. So let's begin. The first Polish immigrants arrived in America in 1608, but the largest wave of Polish immigration occurred in the early 20th century. Okay, so first Polish immigrants came to United States in 1608, but the largest wave of Polish immigrants, like Polish people came in large number. Largest wave means the large number Polish immigrants, Polish people migrated or emigrated to United States in large number in early 20th century, when more than 1 million Poles migrated to the United States. More than 1 million Poles means people of Poland migrated to the United States in the 20th century. The Polish state did not exist at that time, and the immigrants were identified according to their country of origin rather than to ethnicity. Okay, they were identified as people belonging to, say, for example, Poland, for Russia, from Spain, from Italy. So they were identified as people of different nationalities. Understood? Different nationalities. Okay, they were identified according to their country of origin. Nationality means country of origin rather than their ethnicity. Okay, ethnicity means like the Polish people, like Japanese. Okay, so they were not identified in the form of ethnicity, but they were identified in the form of their country of origin. Understood? So they were identified as Russian Poles, say Russian Poles, German Poles, Austrian Poles. Okay, this is how they were identified in the early 20th century. One of the most notable Polish American communities is in Chicago. Dear students, the pronunciation of this word is Chicago. Remember, Chicago. Okay, SH. The spelling is CH, but pronunciation is SH. Chicago. One of the most notable Polish American communities is in Chicago and its suburbs. Suburbs means outer area of the town is called suburbs. I have the definition for you. An outlying district of a city, especially a residential one, is called suburbs. Outlying district. Okay. So one of the most notable Polish American communities is in Chicago and its suburbs. So Chicago is sometimes called the second largest Polish city in the world. Chicago is sometimes called the second largest Polish city in the world, next only to Warsaw, the capital of Poland. So next to the capital of Poland, which is Warsaw, Chicago in United States has the second largest Polish population. Okay, second largest Polish population in the United States is in Chicago, next to only Warsaw, which is the capital of Poland. Polish Americans were sometimes discriminated against in the United States, as were the Irish, Italians and Jews. Okay, so ethnicity. Okay, so see here, ethnicity: Irish, Italians, Jews. These are ethnic terms. Okay, so dear students, as I told you, racial discrimination was very much prevalent earlier. Okay, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, it was very much prevalent. Okay, racial discrimination. Like if I am an American, I shall discriminate a person belonging to Ireland or Italy, or you can say Poland. Okay, so this is what is racial discrimination all about. Okay, so what happened? Polish Americans were sometimes discriminated against in the United States, as were the Irish, Italians and Jews. So like Irish, Italians and Jews were discriminated in America. Likewise, Polish Americans were also discriminated, because according to the Native Americans, Polish Americans were not the people of the United States. They have immigrated there actually, okay, from Poland. Therefore, they also became the victim of racial discrimination. Now, let's continue. According to the United States 2000 census, 6,67,414 Americans of age 5 years and older reported Polish as the language spoken at home. Okay, so can you imagine, in America, besides English being spoken, okay, other languages are also spoken. Those who have migrated from their respective countries, okay, they speak in their mother tongue at home, okay. Here you can say that quite a sizable percentage of people speak Polish language, okay. So according to the United States 2000 census, 6,67,414 Americans of age 5 years and older reported Polish as the language spoken at home, which is about 1.4% of the people who speak languages other than English, or 0.25% of the US population. Understood? So US is a country where United States where people of different ethnicity are present, okay, because a lot of people have migrated to United States, okay, from Italy, Germany, all across the globe, Poland, Spain, okay. Therefore, many languages are spoken there, okay, besides English, but the official language is English, of course, and the communicative language is also English, okay. So English is the communicative language in the United States. Although there are a lot of ethnic languages spoken there, like Spain is there, like Polish is there, like French is there, okay. In spite of the prevalence or presence of many ethnic languages, English is the only communicative language in the United States, okay. And the people of United States, of course, the native people, their mother tongue is English, and the language of communication there is also English. So you might have heard about the recent, like 3 months back, there was some violence in the United States. Have you heard of it? Batao? Have you heard of the violence that took place in the United States 3 to 4 months back? Can you please text me? Anybody, Laxman, Saloni, anybody, Sania? So tell me, why did this violence crop up? Why did this violence start in the United States? Tell me. Yes, Yog, tell me, what made what sparked of the violence in the United States 3 to 4 months back? It was an instance of racial discrimination, okay. So who was killed as a result of which the violence sparked off in the entire United States as well as other parts of the globe as well, mostly United States? Tell me, who was killed in the United States 3 to 4 months back as a result of which who became the victim of racial discrimination, and as a result of which violence sparked off. Lot of property was destroyed in the United States because of this violence. So who was killed? No idea? You Google it, okay. I'm not going to tell you the answer. You have to Google it. It was such a famous news, famous in the sense that it was telecast live on so many channels, and it went on for so many days also, okay. So you don't know the person who was killed as a result of which the violence sparked off. Anyway, so you Google it, okay. Now, dear students, let's begin our lesson today, the story. So we came to know about many things about Polish immigration. So far we have come to know about Polish immigration to United States. When did the large wave of Polish immigration start in the United States? Okay, and before that we came to know what are the enduring values that a person is supposed to imbibe from his childhood, so that he leaves a mark, okay, behind for others to follow. So we have learned all this. Okay, first some enduring values. What should we look for in a person? Secondly, we have learned about the Polish American community in the United States. Okay, now we are starting with the story straight away. So racial discrimination, I have already discussed with you what is racial discrimination. Okay, I have discussed with you ethnicity also. What is ethnicity? I have discussed with you. Now let me begin the story straight away. And before I begin the story, I would like to see how many students are present. See, there are some students who are not present. Sahil, are you there? If you are there, just text yes. Just text me yes if you are there, Sahil. If you are listening to me, you text me quickly. Sahil seems to have gone offline, it seems. Vinita, you are there? Okay. Vinita is there, Rupam is there, Laxman, Mridula Nair. Okay, thank you so much, dear students. Please stay connected. Those of you all of you have to be there. Otherwise, in the next PTM, I'll complain to your parents. Okay, thank you so much, Tanali, Sania, Saloni, Rupam, Laxman, Vinita, Madhu. Thank you so much, all of you. Please stay connected. Just don't get offline, okay? Because every month we are going to have interaction with parents through Zoom application. So if you are not present on a regular basis, I'm going to inform to your parents, okay? And before that also I'll inform them through WhatsApp. So you have to be regular in the class, okay? You have to be regular, dear students. All of you should be there, okay? Anyway, so I'm going to start the lesson. Today, Monday, Wanda Petronsky was not in her seat, but nobody, not even Peggy and Maddie, the girls who started all the fun, noticed her absence. Okay, so dear students, let me give you the background information. Okay, Wanda Petronsky is the protagonist of this story. Protagonist means the main character around which the story develops. So Wanda Petronsky is the main character of the story around which the story revolves around. Understood? So Wanda Petronsky is a Polish girl. Okay, she belongs to Poland, and she is a Polish immigrant to the United States. Okay, so she is made fun of by her classmates in the school because she has, according to the American classmates, she has a very peculiar name. Okay, there are some other reasons also I shall discuss as I go through the text. Okay, so Wanda Petronsky was not in her seat. She was not there on Monday. But nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline. Here, Madeline means here they are the two friends of Wanda Petronsky. Not you cannot say friend. You can say they are the classmates. Okay, because Peggy and Maddie. Okay, they also made fun of. Madeline in short is called Maddie. Okay, so Peggy and Maddie made fun of Wanda Petronsky. Understood? Therefore, they cannot be termed as friends, they are just classmates. Okay, so The girls who started all the fun noticed her absence. Peggy and Maddie, who started making fun of Wanda Patronsky, they noticed the presence of Wanda on Monday. Next, usually Wanda sat in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in room 13. What happens? Wanda used to always sit in the back bench, in the seat next to the last seat. Okay? In the last row in room number 13, their classrooms are given numbers actually. Okay, so Wanda Patronsky used to sit in room number 13 in the last seat. Okay, next to the last seat in the last row. What is the reason? Why did she sit there always in the last row in room number 13? She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat, the corner of the room where there was most scuffling of feet, most roars of laughter when anything funny was said, and most mud and dirt on the floor. Okay, so Wanda Patronsky used to sit in the corner of the room where the rough boys used to sit, rough boys who did not score good marks, who used to always make disturbance in the class by scuffling their feet. Then the last row was always involved in roars of laughter, and it was all muddy and dirty. Okay, last row, there Wanda Patronsky used to sit. The reason is why she used to sit always in the last row. This is what we will come to know as we progress with the story. Okay, Wanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. She was not at all rough and noisy. So it was not because Wanda was rough and noisy. No, Wanda was not rough and noisy. But there is some other reason for which she used to sit in the last row. On the contrary, she was very quiet and rarely said anything at all. She was very quiet and rarely, it means she was sort of a reserved sort of a girl. She never used to speak much, she used to speak very little, and nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud. So the characteristics of the rough boys who used to occupy the last row cannot be found in Wanda Patronsky. All the characteristics that were mentioned of the rough boys who used to sit in the last row were not there with Wanda Patronsky. Wanda Patronsky did not have any of the characteristics mentioned, characteristics of the boys mentioned in the story who used to sit in the last row. But in spite of that, Wanda Patronsky used to sit in the last row. What is the reason? Let's find out. Okay, and moreover, she never laughed out aloud also like the rough boys. Okay, so she does not have any common characteristics with the rough boys who used to sit in the last row. In spite of that, she used to sit in the last row. What is the reason? Let's find out. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of smile, but that was all. Okay, crooked means, dear students, annoyed. Okay, annoyed sort of smile. Okay, because she always used to remain annoyed in the classroom. She wasn't happy in the classroom. Let's find out the reason. Nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat, unless it was because she came all the way from Boggins Heights and her feet were usually caked with dry mud, but no one really thought much about Wanda Patronsky once she sat in the corner of the room. Okay, so nobody could find out the reason as to why Wanda Patronsky used to sit in the last row. Okay, all they could guess was she was from Boggins Heights and her feet were all caked with dry mud. Okay, except for these two information, nobody could guess any reason as to why Wanda Patronsky used to sit in the last row. Understood? But whenever she used to sit in the last row, nobody could bother about her. Nobody thought about her also. Okay, when she was already seated in the last row, but sometimes they wondered why did she sit in the last row. All they could guess was the two reasons. One is she comes from Boggins Heights, where the poor people stayed. state, and her feet were always caked with dry mud. So because of embarrassment, might be because of the fact that her feet were dirty with mud, and because of the fact that she belonged to a poor family, because she belongs to a place called Boggins Heights. She is sitting in the back row, but this is what they could guess only. They could not find any specific reason for which she is to sit in the last row. Next, the time when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours. Okay, during the school hours they did not think about Wanda Petronsky. The time when they used to think about Wanda Petronsky was outside school hours, at noon time when they were coming back to school, or in the morning early before school began, when groups of 2 or 3 or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to the schoolyard. Okay, so either before the start of the school or when they are returning to school, returning home from school, the children needs to Wanda's classmate is to think about her and make fun about her. Okay, so let's find out the reason why they used to make fun of her. Let's find out. Saloni Boggins Heights is the name of a place where all the poor people used to live actually. Okay, so Boggins Heights is a place where poor people used to stay. Okay. Yes, Rupam, thank you. You have come to know about this. Yes. So let's find out. Then sometimes they waited for Wanda to have fun with her. Understood? And then they waited for if Wanda was not around, they used to wait for Wanda to join them so that they can start making fun about her. The next day, Tuesday, Wanda was not in school either, and nobody noticed her absence again. Again, Tuesday she was not present like Monday, and nobody noticed her absence. Okay, but on Wednesday, what happened? Wednesday, everybody noticed her. Not everybody exactly. Peggy and Maddie. Okay, Peggy and Maddie, who were very close friends to each other, they noticed the absence of Wanda Petronsky on Wednesday in the school. But how could they find out that she is absent? Let's find out. Okay. On Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who did not track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda wasn't there. Okay. Peggy and Maddie were good friends, as I told you, and they used to always sit in the front row. Okay, in the front row with other children who were good children, who used to get good marks and who did not carry a lot of mud with them. Okay, so children from Boggins Heights used to carry a lot of mud in the classroom. Okay, but Peggy and Maddie, who used to always sit in the front row with other good students, who did not carry a lot of tracking, matlab carry, okay, carry mud along with you and deposit somewhere. This is called tracking. Okay, the meaning of tracking is carry the mud. Okay, carry the mud on your shoes and deposit somewhere. Okay, so the process of carrying the mud along with you is called tracking. So Peggy and Maddie were the best friends, and they used to sit in the first row, unlike Wanda, who used to always sit in the back row with the rough boys. Peggy was the most popular girl in school. She was pretty, she had many pretty clothes, and her hair was curly. Okay, so what you come to know, dear students, you can underline. If you've got a hard copy of the textbook with you, you can underline these 3 sentences with pencil. As I told you, whenever you'll find underlined, underlining or underlined sentences in the soft copy, you please underline the same lines on your hard copy also with pencil. Okay, on your textbook with pencil, please, because these are important sentences. Okay, so Peggy was the most popular girl in school. She was pretty, she had many pretty clothes and her hair was curly. Maddie was her closest friend. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence was because Wanda made them late to school. Okay, so how they did not discover in the classroom that Wanda was absent, but they discovered on the way to school, because Peggy and Maddie were waiting for Wanda to join them for the school. But as they kept waiting for Wanda to join them, but Wanda did not turn up, this is when both Peggy and Maddie discovered that Wanda is absent from school today. They had waited and waited for Wanda to have some fun with her, and she just hadn't come. They often waited for Wanda Petronsky to have fun with her. So why did Peggy and Maddie wait on the way to school for Wanda Petronsky? They waited for Wanda Petronsky not out of their affection and love for Wanda Petronsky, but out of the intention that they can have fun with her once she joins. Okay, so dear students, due to time constraints, I've got to wind up my lesson here. I've got another class scheduled at 11:50. Therefore, I'm sorry, I've got to wind up my lesson today. The next day will go a bit fast, okay, because today we've got to discuss had to discuss about the background information about Polish immigration and what kind of values we must look for in a person, how do we judge a person. So background information has taken some time. So next day there is no background information, so I'll go fast with the text so that we can make progress. I'll try to finish that part 1 next class. Let's find out, okay. Anyway, thank you dear students. Let's wind up now, okay, because I've got another class scheduled at 11:50. So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Please inform others to join as well, okay, because we'll have every month PTM. Will otherwise inform your parents, okay. So please do come live on time every day sharp at 11 o'clock, okay, and do all the assignments, okay, lesson notes update on a regular basis, okay. So and I've already updated the answers of this lesson, of these 2 lessons, okay, part 1, part 2. You can start writing them in your notebook. Thank you Vinita, thank you Ashwini, Madhu, Mridula, Smita, Saloni, Rupam, and all those who are present and who have listened to me all throughout. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Bye.